This is for you.
What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco. It's Philly the podcast. Happy Sunday, y'all. Happy Sunday to everybody. You're already in the chat. Shout out to everybody. I see Ref Taco in the building. Big Play Slay, CJ, JD, Mr. T. What's good, everybody? Philly fan all day. Be more careful in the building. What's good? How's everybody doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever the heck you are in the world. So we want to talk, where could Carson Wentz end up? Everybody saw that trade last night. Does it add, value? What's up, Lala? I see you. Does it add value to Wentz? Does it diminish value for Wentz? Is Wentz Jared Goff here? Or is, Wentz the Matt Stafford of this trade? So I went down and I picked three teams that I think make a lot of sense. And then I picked three teams that are kind of dark horses that probably don't make as much sense, but are possible options. No real order, just these are the three teams. So before we do get into this, everybody hit that like, hit that subscribe. We are like 5 away from hitting 1,200, which was my goal for this month. I appreciate you guys. You guys killed it. I needed like 50 like 2 days ago. So you guys are amazing. But so let's get into this. So the first team I'm going to say is the Broncos, all right? Now, the main thing I want to, before I really do get into this list, Wentz, I don't believe can be traded, at least with a maximum savings, unless it's between June 1st and June 3rd. I could be wrong about that. Definitely let me know in the comments, but I believe it's between those that 3-day window before the league starts. So that's obviously after the draft. So any draft capital that we're looking to get is most likely going to be next year. Now, obviously, if Wentz wants to work with us, work on his contract, we can trade him a little bit earlier and hopefully get some assets for this year. Now, reason I say Broncos, I already see people say, hey, go to the Broncos. Hey, the reason I say Broncos realistically is because they didn't want to give up on Drew Lock. Okay, so they might be in the situation that they're like, let's give this guy one more year. What's good, Brandon? I see you. Let's give this guy one more year, talking about Drew Lock. And then they might be willing to give up on Drew Lock. So maybe something happens this offseason that they just don't see what they want to see out of him. And again, late check out Wentz, Eagles, cap regarding any trade cuts on over there. Yeah, when I read that, like I said, I haven't seen anything recent, but the last one that I read, it was between that 3-day window that he could be able to get cut. We would still take a cap hit, but it would obviously be a lot less than it is right now. But yeah, so the reason, like I said, for the Broncos, so they might be on the let's give up on Drew Lock wave after this season. It would make sense if you could probably get Wentz for cheapish, especially compared to the Stafford deal. But the Broncos to me are kind of a dark horse, but it makes sense at the same time if they're not trying to get an older quarterback, because I feel like that's what held them back from really going all in on Matt Stafford. So that's an option. Like I said, probably not the biggest, the main option, but it is an option. The next one is the Patriots. Now this one, if they miss on a quarterback, they're sitting, I believe, at 15 in this draft. If they miss on a quarterback or they just decide not to go with a quarterback this year, Wentz might make sense. Wentz might make sense for them. Like I said, you could probably, I'm hoping you can get a second-round pick out of him. Maybe this trade boosts his value a little bit. You get a late first, maybe. I don't know. But I'm hoping you can get like a second round out of a team like the Patriots. I think it would make sense. Bill Belichick can probably calm Carson Wentz down a little bit and get him to play within the system. I think that would be a nice little marriage to see. It might not work. We all know that, Carson Wentz has a little bit of a type A personality. So does Bill Belichick. So it might clash or it might be perfect, to be honest. And then we go to the one that I know everybody wants. Everybody keeps saying this one, and it's the Colts. Philip Rivers is leaving. Obviously, there's that connection. Everybody knows that Frank Reich loves this guy. Did we trade theoretically Carson Wentz for all of Frank Reich's, personnel? as far as coaching staff goes. So maybe that's what happens. Maybe we, give him to the Colts for something, maybe a third, maybe a second. We'll see what that would be. I personally think the Colts have other options. There's so many quarterbacks that are going to be available this offseason, whether it be in the free agency or whether it be in the draft. I feel like for Wentz to really, maximize his value for us, he would have to work on his contract so we can trade him prior to this draft. So the three that I really think are actual possibilities are going to be the Broncos, the Pats, and the Colts. And then three teams that I'm just kind of throwing out here. Honestly, if they miss in the draft, this is really why I would say them, are the 49ers, are the Steelers, and Falcons. The 49ers, if they miss at 12, if they don't get who they want, I could see them just moving on from Garoppolo and taking a shot on somebody like Carson Wentz. Steelers, Big Ben said he'll take a pay cut, so I see him coming back next year. If something changes there, I could see them taking a shot on Wentz. Falcons, they sit pretty at number 4. Shout out to Dylan Matthews. He came on the show and he took Justin Fields. I don't know how long Matt Stafford's going to be there. He said that he's thinking like 2 more years. That's why they're a dark horse team for me. It could make sense depending on what happens with Matt Ryan. Maybe they move on from him a lot quicker than anybody thought. But those are my dark horse teams, 49ers, Steelers, Falcons. So fill up the chat with like who you guys think, he would go to and what you think Carson Wentz, his value could be. That trade does nothing for any of the other players' trade value. That trade was a straight up old school Wild West robbery. It really was. I don't know what they were. I don't know what they thought they said. Yeah, and a lot of Rams fans love it, to be honest. It's weird because I have some friends that are Rams fans, and I have friends that are Lions fans, and it feels like the Lions fans are upset, and then the Rams fans are like, they're ecstatic. They think they're going to the Super Bowl. This is not a call-in. He could. You never know. What's good, Brandon? All right, let me see where we at. I still think Wentz has pretty strong trade value. We'll see. I just don't know if – I don't know. I think that his trade value can be maximized if he just works with us. If he's like, I'll restructure my deal, once we pick a team. Once we look at team – and it doesn't have to be one of those things like, all right, restructure your deal now and then, we got you, haha. Like once we find a team that's willing to work with it and, give us the value we want from you, then we move on. But he hasn't said nothing. So, we'll see. Maybe he wants to stay on this team. Maybe this can go for Jalen Hurts too. All these teams, I feel like Jalen Hurts might be even more valuable to teams like these. You know what I'm saying? Especially some of the dark horse teams. Like you go to the Steelers and you say, hey, we got Jalen Hurts for you. They might come up off the first round pick, to be honest. We saw what they did with Duck Hodges. The Rams had to give up that much because of Goff's contract. They had to compensate the Lions for taking that on. No, that's facts. I just feel like you move on with, like, they have no future now. Like, if you suck, like, if you're the same thing that you were with Goff, like, if you make the playoffs and you lose in the first, second round, like, what did you really accomplish? You just, like, ruined your future. Like, my thing is, I feel like Sean McVay's a great coach. I think he's a great coach, but this is going to make him look really bad. If he can't win a Super Bowl, bro, that team's going to be blown up, and they have no capital, draft capital to rebuild. So I don't know. It's either going to be like beautiful for that. Either way, even if they win a Super Bowl, like, what do you do after that? Like, you have to get rid of everybody. They have like a 1-year window. Colts for a pick, Broncos for a late second. I would do something like that because it might not even be a late second. The Broncos, they might still suck if they had Wentz. Colts for a second and fourth. See, I can see that. I feel like that's something that could be realistic. Eagles and Texans swapping quarterbacks will be monumental, but it would cost us some. I don't want to do that. I'm not. If we, it just doesn't make sense to me. Just like I'm tired of like having to have a quarterback controversy every other leg. Just go forward, work with what you got, and fix this organization. We don't need to keep bringing in, random ass people and try and fix that hole. Like, nah, I'm good. That's just, I'm not trying to give nobody a franchise either. Like, I'm not trying to go ahead and give, the Texans a quarterback, a wide receiver. I mean, not a wide receiver, a tight end and picks. Like, I'm good on that. Like, why would I want to make, even though they're not in our division, it's like, why are we going to I'd rather get separate assets for everybody. Like, I'd rather get draft picks at this point. I meant late fifth, second and fifth. That's where I think we're around. I think we're around like a second and maybe a late round pick, depending on what the team is. Like if it's an early, second, like if it's, I'm just throwing out names, but if it's like a Falcons pick, that's like the fourth pick in the second round, you're probably not going to get much more than the second round pick if you get more than that. So, but if it's a late round, late second, maybe you do get a fifth, maybe you do get like a fourth or something like that. You never know. And I'm sure something's going to be conditional just because of Carson's health. And it's going to be really interesting to see how they structure that or how they try to structure that, because I don't know. It's a risk. I know a lot of people love Wentz and, believe that he can be that 2017 guy. And I do too. I believe he can be that 2017 guy. But, it's a risk to trade for him either way. And it's a risk to trade him away. So, we're going to be damned if we do, damned if we don't, but we have to make the decision. And like I said, if it's Hurts, I wouldn't be mad at that either. I would not be mad if it was Hurts, I just need a decision to be made. Watson is better than Wentz. Watson is better than Wentz. But we're not one player away. If our team failed solely because of Carson Wentz last year, then I would be like, yeah, let's go ahead and get, Deshaun Watson. But if you bring Deshaun Watson here, who's to say it's not going to be the same thing? I mean, he was on a bad team and he didn't do anything. I mean, he personally had a great, great stats and great year. He's a great player, but he didn't like elevate that team to crazy heights. Like he's going to be stuck in the same situation. We have a lot to fix on this team. Carson Wentz is holding things up by not saying if he wants to stay or leave. That's the thing. Like it's not even the off season yet. You know what I'm saying? It's not even the off season yet. Why couldn't that be us? What if he would have came out like 2 weeks ago or last week and just said, hey man, I'm good. I want to go. I want to move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, we could have got some. I wonder what the Rams would have gave us. I wouldn't have wanted Jared Goff, but which I've done. I mean, nah, because then you're in the same situation. Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted Jared Goff, but I wonder what they would have gave us. Because they would have had to give up Jared Goff. They would have had to figure out some way to give up Jared Goff. So I don't think we would have got the 2 firsts and a third. I don't know. That's I mean, but I do agree. He is definitely holding it up. He needs to get it together and just let us know either way, man. Like, that's why they give 2-week notices. You know what I'm saying? 2-week, what is it when you quit from your job? 2-week. You can tell I just walk out on people. I don't care. I forget. But you know what I'm saying? Just give us like a quick 2 weeks and just let us know you ain't down for the get down, because the Colts get a 3rd and 5th and conditional 5th pick next year. I would be mad at that. I would like that. We wouldn't be able to, depending on when we trade him, obviously. Like if we have to wait till June because he's not going to say anything, then we're looking at like the next year's draft. We're looking at 2022's draft for draft capital. But if we're looking at this year, you know what I'm saying? If he can tell us within this next week what's going on, we might be able to squeeze in, a good trade and get some draft capital this year. I just don't know if any team's really going to want to take a big risk. Like, the Colts, I don't think it's a big risk for the Colts. I think the Pats would low-key probably give us a first just because they don't care about Bill Belichick really just does not care about his first-round picks. And, I mean, I could see that happening. Like, more that I think about it is between Pats and Colts for me. But I just think that the Pats would do some stupid junk for us. I don't know. Like, I feel like they don't care about their first-round picks. And I feel like this would be a last-ditch effort for Bill Belichick before he hangs it up. So we might catch him slipping. You know what I'm saying? Lions just got multiple first-rounders for Stafford. Imagine what we could get for Colts for the ones. But that's the thing. Lala said it earlier. They had to give those first-round picks. It's almost like when you're in basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like when they give up a first-round pick for a trash player that's getting paid $40 million a year. Like you're giving up the pick to take on that contract, or to get rid of that contract, I should say. So, it is what it is. Like, they had to give up more because I feel like it's a sideways move for both organizations. Just now the Lions have a brighter future and the Rams have zero future. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it changes either team that much this year. So I just don't get it. Maybe I think it's more of them just like they were tired of Jared Goff at this point, because bro, they basically gave him up for a piece of bubble gum and, some flat soda. I don't know. Warford won the QB competition straight up when going against Goff. According to reports, maybe we need to see a true competition first with Wentz to be sure which direction to go in. Yeah, I mean, I've said before, I would love for Carson Wentz to want to come in here and fight. I just don't feel like he wants to. Or I think he hasn't said that he wants to, or that he's down for it. And if we're in that situation, we might be in the same situation that the Rams are, that we're having to give up extra picks just to, get rid of a contract. So I don't know. I still feel like you have to do it soon. If you're going to do it, you got to do it soon. Do it before the offseason really, really gets going, before training camp really, really gets going, because then you just leave room for drama. And right now we do not need drama. Yeah, we don't need drama. I see what you're saying, and I agree. Like, I would love, perfect world, I would love to see a QB competition, because I think they're both talented. And you just let talent take over. But I don't know. We're paying that man a lot. One thing for sure, Rams Lions set the precedent for QB trades with big contracts going forward. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. When it came to last year, people were saying Carson Wentz's last stretch of games were crazy and he balled out, but I thought he was regressing and he also wasn't very consistent. He didn't throw good. That's the thing. If you look back at all of his games, if you look back on his, we forget 2017. Forget 2017. Where would you put Carson Wentz as a quarterback? Realistically, he's probably mid-tier. He's been mid-tier outside of that 2017 season. He's had good games. He's had flashes, but he's never, like you said, been consistent. He's never put, outside of 2017, he's never put up huge numbers that were like eye-popping, like MVP-like season. Like, so, we have to be realistic about that. We see 2017, but a lot of, NFL execs, a lot of coaches, they don't care about 2017. They see last year. They see the year right before that. With the contracts, it's going to be a steep price. It's going to be a steep price to trade Carson, no less than 2 first-rounders and at least a second for me, because as far as we know, the Eagles are in town keeping them. If we could get that, God bless. There's no way nobody's giving us that. Nobody is giving us that. I mean, if we could get that, I'm down with it. So it has to be an Eagles offer the Eagles can't refuse. It's up to Carson. It's not up to the Eagles. If Carson doesn't want to be here, like, reports are that he just does not want to be here. So if he doesn't want to be here, he's not going to be here. Like, it's not up to the Eagles. The Eagles could say as much as they want, like, oh, that's our quarterback, we back him. But if he doesn't want to be here, it doesn't really matter. Fun fact, Carson Wentz in 2020 in a clean pocket is more accurate than 2017 Wentz in a clean pocket. I don't know. Yeah, that sounds like nitpicking to me, because he didn't have many clean pockets. So that 5 times, I don't know. Overall, 2020 was a terrible season for Carson Wentz. 4,500 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, no wide receiver. That's, to me, no, that's not. He wasn't elite in 2017. No, I don't think he was elite. Not top. So you're thinking that's a top 5 stat line? To me, that's not a top 5 stat line, or top 6 stat line even. Eagles need a better quarterback on Eagles. Let Carson go. And listen, I think Carson is very good. And I think Carson has the potential and has the capability of being great, but I don't think he has been. You know what I'm saying? I don't think after the 2017, he's been very good at times, but he's been very inconsistent. He's been very, very inconsistent the whole time. Wentz couldn't throw a 5-yard pass to Sanders. I mean, we've seen him throw beautiful dots to the back of the end zone to Miles Sanders on the run, just like, you know what I'm saying? We've seen crazy throws like that against Washington, and then we've seen him, underthrow and overthrow Miles Sanders 5 times in a row against Miami. So it's like, I get that we all see that he has potential to be great. I'm not saying that he doesn't. I'm not selling that short. But I'm saying NFL execs are not going to look at what we're looking at. We're looking at it from a fan perspective. We're looking at it as like we've seen this guy be great, so we think that he can do it again. Execs are saying, what did you do last year? What did you do? Like, what did you do for me lately? I don't know if he's on the trade block. This is just kind of a, rumor mill. Like, people wanted to see what I thought his trade value would be or where I thought he would go. So figured I'd go live and talk about it. I think, me personally, it's up to him. I've said this before. I think I've said this when me and you were talking. Like, it's all up to him. If he comes out and says he's down to play, or if he has said that he is down to play, then none of this matters. But if he doesn't want to play for the Eagles, he's not going to play for the Eagles. It's unfortunate that he can do that, but he can do that. If he's that mad, he can just leave. Shout out to everybody that is in the chat. We're at 30 people. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm 5 people away from 1,200. So let's do it. Let's freaking do it, guys. Let's do it. Eagles need to get a wide receiver that can get 9 to 1,000 yards a season. It's up to Howie. Yes, we do need a great wide receiver. I think it's more up to our coaching staff to actually get these guys going. You know what I'm saying? I think we have talented players, and I've never been a fan of the thought process that you need a number one, elite wide receiver to be a great team. I think it's an added bonus. You know what I'm saying? I think you got to get these guys going. I think we have talent on the roster. We need a wide receiver from Ohio State on the Eagles. Ohio State. Wentz is Bitcoin, Hurts is a money market account. I don't know that much about stocks, so went right over my head. If the money wasn't in play, he would have been on the trade block. Yeah, possibly. I think if the money wasn't in play, we'd be more lenient. I think, what I'm saying? I think we paid this man a lot of money, and it comes to the when do you want to bite the bullet? Because at the end of the day, you're gonna bite the bullet at some point. You know what I'm saying? Conspiracy theory: they want to slander Carson because his name is not Jalen. A new rule for the Eagles is only players named Jalen can be drafted, signed. All spellings like Jalen are accepted. Facts. And Davion Taylor, his middle name is Jalen. So. Not true. Jeremiah said he talked to execs who would have. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm sure. I don't know. I personally think it's a risk. I think it's a risk, and I think that execs aren't. We'll see, though. We'll see when he. I don't know. I feel like if he was, it would have been pretty close to done right now. Like if I just don't get it. I don't get if Wentz wants to be here or not, because it's like mixed signals. We hear he does, and then we hear he doesn't, and then he doesn't say anything. It's just like, I don't know. I just don't feel like he's that hot ticket. I feel like there's better quarterbacks out there, especially at the price tag what some of y'all are saying. I don't know. Like I said, if it's a second and a fifth or something like that, yeah, I mean, that's not too bad for somebody that could be great. And then you look at his contract, I mean, I don't know. No Eagles QB has ever been consistent playing East. I mean, Donovan McNabb was pretty damn good. I mean, Carson had his flashes, too. If we're being realistic, I think we should draft Jamar Chase. He honestly potentially and very well may be the best receiver in the draft. I would not be mad at getting Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, obviously, you guys know I want Micah Parsons, but I know it's kind of unrealistic. And then, Patrick Surtain's there, and I'm starting to really warm up to Kyle Pitts. So, I don't know. I wouldn't be mad at any of those at this point. And I'm good. I'm glad that it's getting to like a 6, like 6 people. According to Daniel Jeremiah, he said the opinion of Wentz in the media is totally different than what you talk to people in the league. I've talked to several GMs who would be in on him. We'll see then. We'll see how hungry people are for him. I hope so. I hope I'm wrong. Shoot, I hope I'm wrong. These rumors false. I'm tired of this. Okay. I do not think getting rid of Wentz makes us a playoff team. I don't think so either. I'm not saying it does. I'm more so saying we have to be realistic. We have to be realistic and be open to both ideas. Because like I said, this can go for Jalen Hurts too. But I've said it before, we cannot move forward with both quarterbacks. It's just going to keep on bringing this drama, apparently. And it's sad. I feel like any NFL would be happy to have two solid quarterbacks, but apparently not the Eagles, man. Hey, shout out to my guy, Philly Take with RB. That's bro. If y'all don't follow his channel, y'all sleep. But keep grinding, my guy. You're doing big things. I appreciate that $4.99, man. You didn't have to do that. Appreciate you, brother. But yeah, that's the bro on the real. You know what I'm saying? You should see our Twitter feed, bro. we just be arguing all day. We just be going back and forth all day. But I appreciate that, man, for real. But yeah, no, like I said, I don't think that getting rid of him necessarily will make us a playoff team. And I don't think it's necessarily about that. It's about you have to rebuild this roster, and do you do that with a $30 million quarterback? You know what I'm saying? And if you do, then you do. I'm not going to be mad at that. You just have to make that decision and make it clear. It's hard for the Eagles to get a true number one when the ball gets spread all over the place. Yeah, and that's not a bad thing. You know, if you have a true number one wide receiver that wants the ball 40 times a game, you know, I'm over exaggerating, but if you want somebody that wants the ball like crazy, that's going to take away from people that are, you know, Dallas Goddard, take away from this guy. So at the end of the day, I'd rather have a whole bunch of people, you know what I'm saying, getting 5-6 catches a game than having that one guy that gets 10 and 200 yards, because you can scheme against that. You know what I mean? It's harder to scheme when the ball's moving around. Then he carried on and said, I don't think he gets traded. I don't know. I don't even know, to be honest. Crazy you think an all-star wide receiver is only a nice luxury when both teams in the Super Bowl have top 5 wide receivers. I mean, yeah, happy, okay, good for them. Realistically, good. I don't think they do. So who's in the Super Bowl? Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, is he top 5? He is kind of probably top 5. I don't know. Yeah, but the Mahomes also has like 5 or 6 nasty wide receivers. So I don't know. That's a little bit different. And Tampa Bay does too. Tampa Bay has a whole bunch of wide receivers. And they both have good defenses this year. So that's totally different. That's totally different. They've been building that squad. I more likely won't trade. I know I said that. I think the Rams knew they didn't have that much draft capital, and they knew they can deal with Matt Stafford's cheap contract. Matt Stafford's contract is not cheap. That boy getting paid. I mean, Rams have to be thinking Super Bowl because they don't have a first round pick till like what, 2024 or something like that. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Like, I mean, you know, hopefully they can draft well, because that's crazy. That's a lot of draft capital. You just gave up on a team that you might not have in a couple years. You know what I'm saying? How are you going to pay all these people? I don't know, man. I think they got robbed, but hey, Carson Wentz is not going anywhere. Why would he say anything he never the type to do it? I don't know. I think he needs to say so. I'm not saying like, and this is where I feel like a lot of people get disconnected from what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying come out here and give us a speech. I don't need a 15-minute Jeffrey Lurie type. I don't know what I think he thought he was on like a podcast or something. I would never have him as a guest. He just talked for like 45 minutes, but I don't know what he was doing. I don't need that from Carson. I just need you to say, you know, we're coming out next year, or, you know, something, just something. Like, give us a little iota of hope that you are good with us. Like, so I can shut up, because I'm down to stop this. I'm down to stop talking about where Carson might end up, where Jalen might end up. But, you know, all this drama, and when you don't say anything, you know, I'm going to quote Bo Wolf. When he was on the show, he said, you know, silence is compliance. If you're not saying anything, it's hard for people to stop, you know, thinking that it's true. Get rid of both and get Justin Fields. I don't know about that. I'm not a fan of OSU, so that would hurt my heart. I'm sorry, but if both receivers are on the board, but Penny Sewell is on the board, I'm sorry, but I'm passing on either receiver. It's really hard, man. I wouldn't pass on I wouldn't pass on the receivers. If it's Jamar Chase, you know, Devontae Smith or Penny, I think you take Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith, just because it's more of a need if you want to move back one or two spots because someone's calling you and they really seem to want, Penny, maybe you explore that option and take whatever wide receivers left. But at that point, I feel like you got to, that's best player available meets, you know what I'm saying, a need. So I think you would do that. A wide receiver won't fix this team plugging holes on defense. Well, thank you. Exactly. That's the thing. I would love to have a great wide receiver, but it does not matter if your defense can't stop a nosebleed, bro. Come on. I love both quarterbacks. Exactly. That's all that matters. I don't care who the quarterback is, bro. I'm rocking with him. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. We got 40 people in here. So I could say we should have like 40 likes, right? We should have like 40 likes. If y'all could help me out, I would appreciate that. Apparently there's a bidding war for Zach Ertz right now. I would like that. I would like to see what the offers are. I would love to see what the offers are. Love this voice you do. Nah, I'm serious. I'm curious where he goes, but not realistic. Maybe someone gives us a lot for Jalen Hurts. He younger. Possibly. That's what I'm saying. Though you have to choose one of them. You have to choose one of them because apparently, Carson Wentz can't deal with being, in a competition. So if that's the case, man, you got to figure it out. I want to see Eagles get a running back from Ohio State. I wouldn't be mad at a running back. Shout out to my guy Philly Insider Podcast. I was just on his show yesterday, and we did like a little 3-round mock that I put up on my channel too. Definitely go watch the whole thing. We were there for like an hour and a half, but we talked about the possibility of the Eagles going running back, and if certain people drop, maybe you do that. I think this is the draft. You got to go. You got to go BPA. You got to go best player available every time. With the first pick in the NFL draft, the Eagles select Mason Meaners, offensive tackle. Literally not Jason Peters wanting to play another year. I don't think we need a left tackle. If we do, obviously I would go Penny Sewell. I would probably go Rashawn Slater. Those are my top two right now. But I don't think we need a left tackle right now. I think Jason Peters leaving, we honestly makes us better right now. I think Jordan Mailata can hold it down. I think Andre Dillard, still has to prove what he can do. And we'll see, man. We'll see. All right, I'm not that behind on the comments. I'm doing pretty good, y'all. I'm proud of myself. Knowing Howie, probably typical and unknown Howie move. That we were talking about that too. We were like trying to do a what would Howie do draft. You know what I'm saying? That was like the theme of the draft, and it was like, bruh. There's so many ways you can go, especially after you get out the first round. It's like, does he go back-to-back defense? Does he go with somebody offensively? I mean, does he even have that much say this year in the draft, or are they finally going to let the, scouts draft? So there's so many ways that this, draft can go. I'm going to hope that this is the year that they're finally like, how we just go sit down, go have a Coca-Cola. We got you. We going to do this draft for you. Don't worry. Goff and Stafford are both making $43 million left on their deals. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not cheap. I think Goff has a out on his deal after 2 years. People were saying, like I said, I didn't really like research it. I was just talking to my guy on his Detroit Lions podcast. So, what do you think we can get for Ertz? It depends. I think we can squeeze like a second maybe out of him, maybe a third. A third is probably more realistic. But I think we can get a second out of him depending on the team. The only thing that I feel like, well, there's a couple things. I feel like the couple things that really hold Zach Ertz's value back is obviously his age, obviously the injury last year, but more so, this is a pretty deep draft when it comes to tight end, and the tight end position is changing. And Zach Ertz doesn't necessarily fit the mold of what a new generation tight end is. You know what I'm saying? It's, more of the Kittles are coming out. You've seen even in this draft, two names that come off the top of my head are Freiermuth. Obviously, Pitts is a big name, but like you see what they are. It's just not what Zach Ertz is. He's obviously slower, not as explosive. He's a good pair of hands, more like a Witten type of guy than a Kittle type of guy or Kelsey type of guy. So he's a little bit different, but he's elite at what he does. So with all that said, I still think you can get a pretty penny for him. Like I said, maybe squeeze out a second, but I think a third is a little bit more realistic. Yeah, I can do without Jeffrey Lurie's 15-minute spiels. The Jeffrey Lurie podcast, bro, he was talking. And every single time, bro, I thought he was going to shut up. Every single time he would be like, yeah, and, without further ado, I just want to get one more thing. And like, bro, stop saying without further ado. You get me hype. But, it was funny. Nobody was roasting him, but everybody wanted to go after our head coach. That's my head coach, man. Carson Wentz not his need to leave, and Eagles go out and get a better quarterback. I'm assuming you're just saying Carson needs to leave. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I just feel like one of them has to go. I don't want to deal with this drama all off season. I would love to finesse a team into giving up a first for Ertz, but a second will work too. I would give me a first. I'd be cool. Imagine like the Patriots. I know the Patriots have been slated to go ahead and grab like a tight end at some point in this draft. So, if they want to give us their first, I would be okay with that. I would even package them. Yeah, look at that. Once Ertz, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't package them with a player. I would package Ertz with like another pick, like Ertz with like a fifth, and give us your first. I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat. But I just don't want to give up. Like, I don't want to give a team a good team. Like, that sounds stupid, but I don't want to give a team like good players. Like, I don't know. I'm good. I'm not trying to see a team come up off of us. And I don't really want to face Carson Wentz and Ertz in a game. Like, I'm good on that. Justin, Eagles need to go get a QB from Ohio State. That'd be better for the Eagles. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what they do. No, shit. I just lost excuse my language. Not sure about the Colts. Their pick value is not that good. I mean, but hey, if you want to give us multiple picks to make up for that lack of value, then go right ahead. Go right ahead, young man. I would not be mad at that. We're pretty much set at O-line. We have depth, a great O-line coach. That's how I feel. I feel like we got, pretty good team, pretty good future at the O-line position. And especially keeping Stoutland was big, no running back. I think, if one of those top three are there in the second round, you got to kind of think about it. You might have to think about it. Package deal to somewhere. I would have to look at that package. I have to pause. I would have to look at the package deal. I would have to look at the trade package, the deal that involves the players. I would have to look at that. Yeah, caught me slacking. We just saw our future at O-lineman last year. And we still got Dillard. We never know. It's a good question. What are we going to do with Dillard? I mean, I think you hold on to him. I think best case scenario, Dillard comes in and takes the job from Mailata. And Mailata, to me, reason why I say best case scenario is because I feel like Dillard is a left tackle, and that's about it. Like, he's not going to want to be a swing guy. I feel like Jordan Mailata has a lot of experience now as being a swing guy and put a lot of good things on tape. So I feel very confident if our starting lineup had Dillard in it, and if anything happened to either Dillard or Lane Johnson, then you have Jordan Mailata coming in, opposed to having to move. Say Dillard didn't win the spot. Now you put Dillard at left tackle. Now you have to move Jordan Mailata over, and now you're weak at both positions. Best case scenario for me, Dillard wins that job, and you just have good depth on that left side. Jalen's better. We'll see. Knowing the Texans, you think we could give up a 6 for J.J. Watt? I don't think we would want to be honest. I don't know. Like, I understand the lore behind that, but he hasn't been healthy for a while. He's getting up there in age. He's a Hall of Famer, but I don't think that's something we should really explore. They probably would though, because they need draft capital. I really think we could get a first for Wentz, especially a late first or early second. I don't know. I guess it depends on the team, and I guess it depends on the situation. If we do end up having to hold on to Wentz, past the draft, maybe somebody gets desperate and, kind of like the Sam Bradford trade. But I don't know. It's hard with that contract. It's really hard with that contract. Speak of the devil. I was just talking about being on your show yesterday. Just was talking about that. I woke up feeling better about Goff. I hope so, man. I mean, y'all fleeced him. Y'all fleeced him. I don't think Goff is gonna save y'all franchise by any means, but y'all fleeced him on the low. I think we could even get a late first for Hurts and definitely get a third for Hurts. We might be able to get a late first for Hurts. I could see that because he's young. He's still on his rookie contract. Showed some good things. We could definitely, I think, get a third for Hurts. I think that's possible. I think that's definitely possible. I think, like I said, we could probably squeeze a second out of certain teams. Over under on Jeffrey Lurie. Oh my God, it's gonna be like a 30-minute over under, and that's just for the intro. I mean, Pats hate first round picks like Rams. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The Pats might mess around and just bust us down with a couple picks. You know, give us a first, give us this. You know, if they want both of them, then maybe we could talk. But do you think Carson is worth what Detroit got for Stafford? You know, somebody said on here, you know, I had a couple Lions fans that were commenting, and they said, don't look at it as a first or two firsts for Stafford. It's more so two firsts for taking on Goff's contract. That's really what they gave him the first for. No, I don't think I still think that the Lions fleeced him. But I mean, if they win a Super Bowl, he's worth it, right? I think that's kind of where the Rams are right now. If they win a Super Bowl, then it doesn't matter. If we lose out on another LSU receiver, I'm gonna lose my I feel you, bro. I mean, hey, the who was it? I'm geeking. Who has it? Why? Hold on. There we go. Bengals. Bengals, obviously, I just like lost my whole train of thought. Bengals can obviously pair up that LSU again, you know, get Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. So that's a team that might surprise people. I personally think they're going to go tackle. I feel like that if Penny's there or even Rashawn Slater, if they fall in love with him, I could see that happen. But, you know, they might just, you know, surprise us all and go ahead and just try and pair them back up. LA saw what happened with our QB controversy. It said no way. I mean, they gave up everything, though, man. That's my thing. Like, you know, this trade by itself probably wouldn't be that bad if you didn't give up 2 firsts for Jalen Ramsey, which made sense. Don't get me wrong. You know, you got somebody like Jalen Ramsey, you give up what you give up. But, no, that was basketball. But, you know, I don't know, man. You have no picks for like 4 years, bro. That's a lot. That's a lot. And like we were saying, you have to pay all these people, bro. Like, these are all top tier talent. It just doesn't make sense. Kyle Pitts at 6. I've said before, if Kyle Pitts comes out, runs like a 4.5 at his pro day, his virtual day, or whatever you want to call it, 4.5 or 4.4, anything like less than a 4.6, I might really be like, throw him on the outside. You know, the NFL is changing, so we'll see. I think we need a new left guard by Sam Malu. Let's grab Trey Smith from Tennessee in the second. I wouldn't be mad if we, you know, I think that's early to get offensive linemen. I wouldn't be mad if they felt like, you know, they had to move on from someone and get a better player. But I think I just say Malu's fine. I think he just hurt a lot last year. And when he did come back, it was like a whole mess already. Put Dillard in the weight room. Put him in some therapy, man. That boy can't be crying at practice, man. Yeah, you just got to see what you got. So we're going to trade Dillard too. I don't think we should. If there's value there, if somebody really wants to give you something crazy, maybe you do. But this is another draft that I think is pretty deep in offensive linemen too. I've seen some mock drafts where there's like 4 or 5 offensive linemen going in the first round. Real talk. And like, that's kind of crazy to me. But, you know, this might be a deep draft for offensive linemen. So Dillard has talent. I don't know if you want to give up on him so quickly. That's the thing. He just, you know, unfortunately, this year was supposed to be the year that he was supposed to, you know, really prove what he was or show us who he was. He got hurt. It is what it is. What do you want from him? You know, like, you can't really control injuries. You want to see a fullback? Fullback. I don't know. That would be funny. That would be cool. I mean, we have the people on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Put Elijah Holyfield back there. I want to see him thump some people real quick. Oh. It won't let me change comments. There we go. There we go. All right, where are we at? Fulgham, Rager, and Jamar Chase, please. I mean, it might be fun to watch, depending on, we'll see who the quarterback is, too. Left tackle, Mylotta Dillard. Left guard, Malu Herbig. Kelsey, if he plays last year's contract. Brooks. Yeah, I mean, that's solid, bro. That's solid. And Dillard, I mean, and Mylotta can move on both sides. He can play left or right. We've seen that. Shoot, you can even kick him inside. We've seen that. Mylotta has more upside. It's possible, but shoot, you got them both for cheap right now. So might as well see what's up with both of them. Maybe you move on from Lane Johnson. Maybe Mylotta becomes the right tackle of the future, and you move on from Lane Johnson. Now you got a very cheap line and a very young line. Hey, options are never a bad thing. Unfortunately, we have a terrible GM, so maybe options are a bad thing. If somebody wants to give us a first, yeah, shoot, I'll drive him out there. Do we draft a running back? I think if there's somebody that's worth it in the mid rounds, I think you do. I think we do need one more running back. Corey Clement is a free agent, as is Boston Scott. I think Boston Scott will be back. But you want to pair Miles Sanders up with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's getting 20, 25 carries, which I still don't think they're going to do that. I think he'll get like around 17. But if you do around 17 to 20, you still want somebody that can give you like a good, 10, 15 touches, or at least two more people that can give you 10 to 15 touches. So I think we do draft a running back. No, I don't know. I don't want to do that, man. Unless it's like they're giving us unless they're giving us picks and Deshaun, and it's not worth it for them. We would have to give up too much more on top of Carson to make that worth it to me. And we're not in the position to do that. That's my thing too. I just want Wentz to actually give a damn. Like if he comes out here and just fights for his job, then hey, I'm wrong and I'll eat my words. But if Dillard doesn't shed a tear in training camp, I think he has a shot. Exactly. If you don't cry, I'm with it, bro. I don't know why, but I feel in one of the top 3 receivers or top 2 will fall in the second round. It's possible. We never know. I feel like it has a very good chance of going one-sided. So like a couple of times that I've done mock drafts or I've seen mock drafts, I feel like it goes either really offensive heavy early or defensive heavy early. So like if it does that and you end up having like 3 or 4 quarterbacks go in the top 10, it might be crazy. Golf was a product of scheme. I doubt he does anything away from McVay. Yeah, I agree. Does Lurie have a press conference coming? I hope not. I hope at all these press conferences, Jeff Lurie, you said what you needed to say. All right, bye. Like that, we needed you to tell us what was going on with the coaching situation. You wanted to tell us about your, I don't know, your elementary school days or whatever the heck he was talking about. But that man talks too much. If I do want to hear from the quarterback's coach, I do want to hear from the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. I'm sure that'll be coming pretty soon, but I don't think Jeffrey Lurie is going to talk that much more. I think New England at 15th pick or Colts with the 21st pick are the only chance we have to get. Yeah, I think those are very true. That's very true. And I've said I think the Pats, man, they don't care about those first round picks. So if they're at 15, and like I said, the 4 quarterbacks go in the top 10, they might just say whatever. And they might, even if Carson doesn't fix his contract, they might just be like, whatever, bro. Like, send us like a third back. We'll give you our first. Like, I think this is like kind of Bill Belichick's last shot. Not last shot, but I feel like this is Bill Belichick saying, like, this is my year. I got to do something before I go out. Shout out to my guy, Philly Talk Podcast. My guy, Mike over there, man. I appreciate you. Says my guy. Thank you for the $2.99. I appreciate that so much, man. I appreciate those. Those are so cool, bro. Y'all don't have to do that, though. But I appreciate it. Where did I go? Where was I? Oh, here we go. Crazy to think the Rams are about to go 7 straight years if they do capitalize it. I don't know. If they win one, no. If they win one and then are just trash and have no way of rebuilding, I don't think so, because you can't pay these guys. I mean, if they can figure it out, if all these guys say, hey, I'm down to take a pay cut to play here, like, then maybe you're right. But I don't see any way that this works, man. I just don't see how this works. The Rams are ready to win now. They sold their for a potential ring. It's true, though. If the Jets want Wentz, bro, give us your first round pick. I'll give it. If the Wentz, all right, if the Jets called you and was like, listen, we'll give you the number 2 pick. This is not going to happen. But if the Jets called you and we're like, we'll give you the number 2 pick, right? And you give us your number 6 pick and Wentz, and we'll give you a second rounder too. So they give you your first and second, you give them Wentz and your 6th, and maybe something else. I don't know. Would you do it? I would do that. Or just Wentz and your 6th for their second round pick. I think that would be at least kind of realistic. I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat. If they're taking on his contract too, what? Sir, yes, sir. You want another pick? I'll give you a third too. Just for coming. I'll give you a third. Just for coming to the show. There are some decent later linebackers too, Dylan Moses and Jabril Cox. Yeah, definitely go watch that video that I put up. It was the 3-round mock draft with Dylan. I'm not with Dylan. I'm sorry. I'm reading different things, but with Hunter from Philly Insider Podcast, and we were looking at him. We were thinking about Jabril Cox. We liked how the draft fell around because there was some later round defensive players that were pretty good. I don't see the Steelers making the move, and I don't think Larry will allow an state trade, and we'll hear about the Wentz all the time. I feel you. I mean, I don't think they will, just because, like I said, what's his name? Big Ben said that he's down to take a pay cut. He wants to play there. So, I think they'll probably just draft someone at some point, but we'll see. Or maybe they think they have the guy on roster. Fullback. Y'all with these fullbacks, man. Y'all with these fullbacks. Trade Wentz for a first or second, or trade Hurts. That's what I'm saying. Look, all right, take Wentz out of the picture, right? Let's act like Wentz can't be traded, because Wentz, I don't know what's going to really happen with him. But if Wentz is going to be our quarterback, right? Let's go with that mind frame. You take Hurts, and if you can get even what you gave, even if you get a mid-second round pick for him, right? And then you trade Hurts for another second, maybe third round pick. And then, like you said, I don't think we trade Dillard, but I think there's a lot of other players. Like I'm thinking like a Malik Jackson. You maybe get like a 6th, maybe a 5th out of them if you're lucky. There's a lot of players on this team that you can get assets out of. I think it's time to really look into flipping. Like, bro, I would love to have 10 draft picks. Like, if you look at how a lot of these teams have been building their teams, you look at us in 2017, we had a plethora of draft picks before that. And then we kind of, we gave them up to get Carson, and we made our run. We made our championship run, whatever. But we had a lot of young players. You look at the team now, a lot of these guys are people we drafted. When you look at Ertz, when you look at obviously Carson, that, depending on how you want to look at him. But you look at Kelsey, you look at not Brooks, you look at Ertz. Did I say Ertz? But you look at a lot of these players on this team that are core, and we drafted these guys. So it's that time again to get a plethora of picks and get this team right again. You got to get another young core. And defensively, too, look at Fletcher Cox. He's not getting any younger. You look at Brandon Graham. He's definitely not getting any younger. I think he's a huge candidate to be traded. Even a guy that we traded for, Slay, he's got maybe 2-3 years of elite play or top-tier play. So it's time to really get into that draft again. Sayamalu is one of the most consistent linemen, almost never hurt. Last year was his first time loss. Yeah, I think that he's fine. I think that, last year was just an off year for him. He came back, and it was all hell anyway. So I'm concerned about Brooks. He seems injury prone. He does get injured a lot, but at the same time, when he comes back, he's an all-pro. So it's like, I don't know. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. We're at 50 people in the chat. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe if you are new. We're like 5 away from 1,200. Help your boy out. I like the Virginia Tech running back Khalil Herbert. maybe I'll do it tonight. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. I kind of want to do something tonight, but either way, I'm talking to myself now. But I was thinking about getting on the Draft Network thing and just doing like a live mock draft with y'all. And we could just, we could pick it together. Pick it together, guys. I hope this team does something different this year. I hope Sirianni utilizes fullbacks in here. We'll see. We'll see. You think we would get a lineman in the 4th round? That's so. I mean, we possibly could. When we were doing that's just so like I laugh because it's just like so specific. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't saying first 3, you ain't saying 4th round. There were. Are we talking offensive or defensive? If we're talking offensive, I think it's a possibility. I didn't see any like names that I were like that jumped off the board to me, but as far as defensive, definitely. I think defensive line in the 4th round is something that you could definitely. I don't want to say bank on, but I'm very sure that he's going to be looking at some of the names there because we saw a couple names. The one name that sticks in my mind is Shaka Toney, just because I feel like 4th. I said that he was a huge reach when we were talking about 3rd round, but because it's an early 3rd round pick, especially. But 4th round, I might be a little bit more lenient at getting somebody that might turn into a project like him. But yeah, definitely defensive line, offensive line, possibly depends on who drops. Had jog snowing them from. Yeah, it's not snowing out here. It's like 60. It's like 65. I don't know what it is. I'll tell y'all right now. Make some people mad. It's 73 degrees. 73 degrees. Burr. It's 73 degrees. Let me stop. Y'all gonna all unsubscribe. Like, hate this guy. Actually, I'm concerned Kelsey is going. Brooks and Johnson are on the other side of the careers. Need to get rid of them early. We're building anyways. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, you got to see who has. You got to see who has value and try and get the best value you can while not giving up too much. Like I wouldn't say go ahead and trade Brooks, go trade Johnson, go trade them all right now. But, if you feel like Jordan Mailata can take over at right tackle, maybe you do look into a Lane Johnson trade. But, you got to do everything for a reason and with a purpose and with a plan. So I'm not saying trade everybody, but I think it's the year that you got to look into what value people do have. I think last year was that year, and we see what happened. What's even funnier? The Rams just gave up all that draft capital for 5 to 7 years, only to go to the Super Bowl like 3 to 5 times. Play the Chiefs and lose all of them. That's the thing. If they don't win a Super Bowl next year, then what? You know what I'm saying? Because after next year, I think they got to start making decisions with a lot of these players. So you have like a 1, maybe 2-year window with this team. I don't know. And I don't think that they're a quarterback away from the Super Bowl. And I don't know if Matt Stafford is that quarterback that you're a quarterback away from. I don't know. I just don't get this move at all. Let's have some fun. If the Jets do that and take Wentz and by some chance Urban Meyer goes Fields at 1, do you take Lawrence? That's not fun. Who is that fun for? Yeah, I think you do. Or you look at the possibility of trading back, obviously, but I think you do. I think you go best player available. I've preached that, so I feel like I would be dumb to say, to go back on it now. But I think you might have to in that position, or like I said, trade back. What players do you want after the 1st round? Off the top of my head, I would say Hollins, the safety. Javon Hollins, I think his name is the safety. I like Paris Ford. You guys, shout out to all you guys. You guys put me up on Paris Ford. I like him a lot. I'm not saying 2nd round, but Pat Fryermuth, if he drops to like the 3rd, I wouldn't be mad at that. I like Pat Fryermuth a lot, and maybe it's because I'm I'm a Penn State fan, but I like Fryermuth a lot. Asante Samuel Jr. is a guy that I would love to have. Dylan Moses is a guy I would be happy to have. If Chaz Surratt fell, I wouldn't be mad at him. There's a couple guys. Did I say Moses? I think I said Dylan Moses. There's a couple guys. There's definitely a couple guys that I think you can get value out of in the 2nd and later rounds. Even people like Jalen Waddle, like I feel like we might get surprised with how these wide receivers end up getting drafted. We might see some big names drop out of the first round, like Rondell Moore, someone like that. I'd be more inclined to take a chance on somebody with a smaller frame in the second round than early in the first. I honestly would take a move for. Oh, I would make moves for Watson. Nah, I just can't do it, man. I can't. I don't think it's what we need. I think we would give up too much. Like if they're down to do just the straight up swap, Carson for Deshaun, then yeah, talk to me. I mean, Deshaun Watson's contract is more than Carson's, but it's not bad because he's a great player, right? But talk to me. If you want to do that, maybe we could talk. If that could work out. It's time to move on from Big Ben. I think he got one more year. I think he wants, to ride off into the sunset. And they got a good defense. He got a good offense. So he has a shot, and I think he's going to take that shot. Oh, we got to – hold on. I just lost my spot, but I see my guy in here. And I know he's a Rams fan over on the Facebook side, having to be a rebel. The only, I see, one Facebook person. Half of the times I feel QBs aren't worth a first-round pick. O-line and wide receivers are more important unless you see the next young GOAT. I don't know. QBs, man, especially lately, you see these QBs coming in and having a huge impact right off the bat. So I need to know. So you're happy about the trade as a Rams fan? You think this was a good trade? Because I feel like you guys gave up your whole future on a hope that this guy can get you, a guy that never made it to the playoffs, I don't think, or at least doesn't have any playoff wins to my knowledge. Hoping he can get you. I don't know, man. Definitely lost my spot. So there we go. Steelers signed Dwayne Haskins. They're gonna try and I forgot about that. That might be a good pickup, to be honest. They might have stole him because sometimes when you go through something like that, when you realize you were the reason that you failed, sometimes that's the best thing for you, and you just kind of grow up from that. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it depends on which. I think we can get a third, maybe a second for Ertz. That's about it, though. Ertz for a second would be great, but I'm scared to shake them dice with Wentz. It's a big risk reward type of thing either way. Either he's going to be terrible for you and you're going to go forward with Carson Wentz, or you're going to give him up and he's going to be great somewhere else. I mean, there's a risk, in either of them. Or he could suck and you just got value out of him, or you could keep him and he could be great. There's so many ways that this can go. I guess there's really only 4, but go to the Chiefs and lose to them. You're not wrong. Big facts, though. If we keep Wentz and keeping Ertz as a security blanket for sure. I mean, I don't think that's what I don't know if that would work. If that would work, then I would love that. I would love to have a quarterback, backing up your quarterback. That's the theory behind the NFL, you would think. But I don't know. It feels like Wentz doesn't want to be here. I feel like he would have been said something, but we'll see. Trade Ertz for Pitts. We'll see. I don't know, man. We'll see. Hurts better off going to a new team. One of them will be. Do you think Howie's going to try and save his ass this year due to his contract running out in 2022? I mean, I hope that this is the year that he's on a short leash, that, that we're saying, if you mess this up, it's over. But I don't think it will be. I think he's got a little bit of time. I don't think he'll be gone anytime soon, man. We're hard-headed, to say the least. We are hard-headed, to say the least. Do you think Josh Allen is the best right now to compare to Wentz? Because the last 2 years he was close by on the 5 to the NFL when they get. I think that Josh Allen worked very hard in the offseason on his own, which I think a lot of people gloss over that fact. Yes, he had good coaching. Yes, he had a good wide receiver, but Josh Allen put in a lot of work on his own. So my thing with Josh Allen comparing to Wentz is from what we're hearing, it seems like Wentz isn't putting in that work. So I don't think You can really compare the two. I mean, if Wentz puts in that work, yeah, I could see that being a comparison. You got to give him, weapons and to see him flourish, but he gotta put some work in, man. And if you're not putting that work in, I don't know. Feel like this is such a deep draft class. Yeah, man, I feel you. I feel you. Maybe I was. I don't know what I said. Dude, if Asante Samuel Jr. is there, most likely, oh my God, that would be the steal of the draft. Yeah, we kept on, when I was doing, I keep on bringing up this draft, but when we did the draft yesterday, we kept on trying to get Asante Samuel. It just was not working, bro. It was not working. I would trade Hurts to an AFC team that we don't play out of respect. Trade Wentz to a trash NFC team because I can't stand it. Trade Hurts, Barnett, and 6th pick for Watson. Watts restructures his deal and trade him to the Colts for a 21st pick and use the draft for shot. That's not that much, actually. I mean, I guess you could do that. I just don't think that's that much. I feel like you can get individually, you can get more for Hurts. You can get individually more for Barnett. You can get individually not more for Wentz. I think Wentz probably that would be an ideal situation with him, to be honest. But I don't know. I just really don't want Watson. I don't feel like he's gonna. I feel like he would complain being here, to be honest. And we're not gonna give him a fair shot. This ain't Houston. We're gonna go in on him. Like, as soon as he messes up, we're gonna be like, this is what y'all wanted to eat. I don't know. I just don't. I think we got to move forward with what we have. But he might have, because that man is quiet. That man is quiet. If Wentz doesn't want to be here, with the hell with it, trade him. You have to have a quarterback who the team loves to fight for. Exactly. Damn, I'm mad behind on these comments here. Hurts showed he could sit in the pocket and make it to his third read, but when things got right, he reverted back to one read and go. I mean, our offensive line was trash, so I think one read and go was kind of what he needed to do. But I feel you. I definitely feel you. He showed good and bad last year, but he has the mentality to be more than just a mobile quarterback. His second year leap will prove that he has to be that to be the case or not. Yeah, I definitely agree. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We're at 50 people in the chat. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe if you are new. We're 3 away from 1,200, so hit that subscribe, y'all, if you are new. There was like 88% of y'all that aren't subscribed. That hurt my heart, hurt my feelings. I was so hurt. Trade Wentz to the Cowboys, Washington, or the Giants, somewhere that he can lead to Philadelphia wins. We'll see, man. We will see. I'm going to be real. If I'm a player, I don't want to be drafted by this team. I hate these fans sometimes. Bro, this year has been tough. I don't know what's up with us lately. Like, yeah, we are spoiled sometimes. Like, I don't know what's up with it lately. Like, I'm not saying we, but some of the Eagles fans, like, just attacked this guy after one press conference, after really nothing, like, because he stuttered. Like, I would love to see half of these people that were talking junk talk in front of a full, room of reporters, knowing you're being streamed to how many ever people are watching. I'm sure it was, in the tens of thousands. So, like, come on, give the man a break. And I liked some of the stuff he said. We needed a little bit of change. I feel like he's going to bring that. Cowboys are not going to the Super Bowl if they get one. That's the dumbest. That's a terrible take. Stop. I don't know if they had Bill O'Brien, I think they would be dumber. But I mean, you never know. They're in the position right now that they need picks. So if you give them a number 6 pick, knowing that they have to give up Deshaun Watson anyways, they might jump on that, to be honest. They really might jump on that. Jump on it. If we don't get Surtain, Dallas going to get him. I've seen some Dallas fans and some mock drafts from Dallas people saying that they're going to go after Kyle Pitts, which, hey, go right ahead. If they get another offensive guy, bro, I will die laughing. I'm not going to lie. Is Pitts the next Gronk? Nah, I don't think Pitts is the next Gronk. Pitts is, how do I put? I don't really know how to explain it. Like Pitts, he's all right at blocking. He's not that elite at blocking. I feel like he's a good tight end. Like he's a good tight end because he's such a great wide receiver. But I don't know. I don't even know if he really projects at tight end next year. He reminds me kind of like the Chase Claypool situation. So I don't know. We'll see. I like how strong he is on fundamentals. He's a good route runner, and he's, like I said, he's not really that good of a blocker, but he's a good route runner, great catcher. Like everything that has to do with receiving, he's very good at. He's possibly the third best wide receiver in this class if he was just a wide receiver, especially the way they work him in Florida. I would take Dak, ham sandwich, and poop emoji for Wentz. Just screw Jerry Jones money up. Winston has the leverage with the Texans. Yeah, if he wants to come here, that's on him. Dude, stop. He's staying in Philly. Maybe, possibly. I'd make the move in a heartbeat. He can't block at all. He definitely was very bad at blocking. Kittle is like an elite blocker, so I doubt that he'll be the next Kittle. I mean, if he develops his blocking, Ertz wasn't a great blocker when he came into the league, you know what I'm saying? But he developed into a good enough blocker to be a starter, Isn't he 6'6"? Yeah, he's 6'6" and like 230. And if he runs anything under a 4'6", like I've said this mad times, like if he runs anything under a 4'6", that boy is gonna go top 10. It's just gonna happen because that size, that speed, that athleticism, and like I said, his route running is hard. You can't obviously teach route running, but when you have route running like that, bro. Yeah, I agree. I do. Yeah, my bad. I'm scattered brain. But yeah, no, I agree. I like that he talked about fundamentals. He talked about development. Those are things that are huge for me right now. I want Surtain. I mean, we might get him. I think that Surtain might be a little bit of a reach at 6. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. But, I wouldn't be mad. Lamar Jackson has legs. How his playoffs doing doesn't win you championships. One player doesn't win you championships. It's about scheme. It's about the team. It's about having a team around you that is schemed to fit to win the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter one player. Like people put wins and losses on one player far too often. You know what I'm saying? I think if Matt Stafford does great, then he's a perfect example of why you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at if Matt Stafford does great, then you can't put all the losses in Detroit on him. You know what I'm saying? Why you think Houston hiring all the black people now? Oh, we ain't doing that black shit. I ain't getting into that. That's a slippery slope up here. I ain't doing it. Hurts had 2 teams in the college playoffs against the best competition. Wentz proved nothing in college, and he's considered great for what? He had a defense. Don't know him yet. Flash. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you. But I don't know. I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, we've seen what Carson Wentz can be in the NFL, and I hate to keep saying, I tell people to get over the 2017 season, so I'm the one bringing up the 2017 season now, but it is what it is. I mean, it can go either way. It can really go either way. Pitts is the next Sharp. Maybe that's a big statement right there. But I could see the comparison just because he is a great route runner, a great catcher. Just call him Blake Jarwin Jr. Joe, did you play ball? Basketball? I mean, football? I played football in high school, yeah. I played football in high school. Nothing beyond that. Wentz would win Super Bowls with Cowboys. Imagining Wentz wouldn't win Super Bowls over there. We saw their defense was terrible last year. Right? It doesn't matter who's on your offense throwing the ball. We saw Dak have damn near a career year, franchise record year. Before he got hurt, he was about to put up records, and that team was losing. So Carson Wentz isn't going to go in there and fix that. I think this is what I would give up for Deshaun Watson. Carson Wentz earns the 6th overall pick this year, a third. See, that's way too much. That's way too much. That's way too much, bro. You want to give up everything, bro? Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Easy fix for the whole defense, Micah Parsons. I agree. I think Micah Parsons would help this team immensely. You have to be able to throw. You can't run away to the Super Bowl. I mean, shoot, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. It's about the team. It's about the team. And my man's can throw, so I don't really know why you say he can't throw. Lamar Jackson can throw. If Wentz was with the Cowboys, they wouldn't make it to the playoffs. Exactly. Let's talk about our rivals real quick. Is Dak staying or leaving? I think the Cowboys are probably just as nervous as we are with this situation with our quarterbacks as they are with theirs, because who knows? I think that the overall consensus is that he's going to come back, that they're going to pay him and move on, and everything's going to be all hunky-dory in Jerry world. But I don't know. Longer that time goes, the harder it is going to be for them to sign him. And I don't think he signs a franchise tag. So that's a good question. I don't think he will, though. Something in my heart says he's not going to be in Dallas next year. Our corner situation may not be as bad as we think. Schwartz's scheme was the worst in football for the secondary. That's why. That's true, too. We don't know what we really have because we didn't really see any of our players utilized correctly. Same can be said for the offense. If we get Pitts, I'll put him at wide receiver. I've said that if we're going to get Pitts, especially at 6, you have to bars. You heard that? We're going to get Pitts, especially, yes, bro. I'm telling you, man. Album coming out next week. But if we're going to get Pitts at that spot, I need to know that, he's going to be out and we can move him around, at the wide receiver spot, slot. But they did that in Florida, so they used him more as a wide receiver in Florida than anything realistically, but he can't block, and that's something he really has to work on, because Dallas Goddard can block, but he's more of the guy you want the ball in the hands of. So if you get someone like Kyle Pitts, then Kyle Pitts kind of becomes that guy you want the ball in the hands of. So it kind of, is Dallas Goddard an elite blocker? I don't think he's ever has been asked to be this year. So I don't know. I like Kyle Pitts, but like you said, he has to be able to move to wide receiver for me. Oh, oops. Their defense not better than ours. You're tripping. They were dead last. Big fact. Dak sticks could have been. Oh God. If it means getting Deshaun Watson, I'm all up for it. I don't know. I don't care if it means giving up 3 first-round picks. Nah, bro. Deshaun Watson is not going to – if we did that, Deshaun Watson is not going to turn us into a Super Bowl team. Our defense is going to still be trash. It would be nice to have him, but you delusional. Wentz would be scary with Cowboys. You forgot how good Wentz is with elite wide receivers. We never had elite wide receivers, bro. Like, Alshon Jeffrey is not an elite wide receiver, and he had a torn shoulder rotator cuff. Zach Ertz had a great year, and then, he felt, even when he was having great years, we didn't win Super Bowls because of Zach Ertz having great years. It was a whole team effort. Our defense was great that year. We had a top 3 running offense. Come on. Wentz would not go there and fix anything, okay? Wentz would not have the numbers that Dak was probably putting up. And I hate to say that because I'm obviously not a Cowboys fan. Yeah, Lamar's adjusted. That's the thing you got to look. Dak is going to be gone. I kind of feel that too. I hope the defense blitzes more. I hope so too. Shoot. I've said it, and I know y'all hate to hear it, but I would not mind seeing 7-0 games. I'm cool with 7-0 games I want good defense. That's what I want. Look at that tight end that was top 10 a few years ago. Now he sucks. I think tight end should be drafted in the 2nd round. Goddard is a top 10 tight end. We can't get a tight end in the third. No, I agree that we can get a tight end in the third, but I feel like the tight end position is changing. And I feel like a lot of people, when you look at someone like Kyle Pitts, he's more than a tight end, and the way you can utilize him really fits where the NFL is going. So I feel like he's more than a tight end. We're one away from 1,200, y'all. Come on, I need I need one more sub, y'all. Come the hell on, y'all. But no, I feel like he's more than just a tight end. So I'm glad Big Play the GM giving up all that for Watson. If how he did that, people would storm Novacare. Big facts, though. Hey, Big Play Slay is my guy. Shout out to Big Play Slay. But I kind of feel it. That would be a lot. Jerry already said he needs to take a hometown discount, but Dak isn't going for all that. Yeah, that's a terrible mindset to have. You know, you've seen what your team is without Dak, bro. At least your offense, you know. And to his credit, towards the end of the year, to Kellen Moore's credit, towards the end of the year, they did start putting up points and starting to figure it out a little bit. And Zeke Elliott was having a terrible year. So, I mean, there was a lot going on outside of that quarterback position, but I think you have to pay Dak. I think Dak does have to be a little bit more realistic and not ask for 45 a year, but I mean, he's worth around 35, 40 million a year for like 2 or 3 years. In 2016, draft seven quarterbacks were drafted. In the first round, 4 rounds, and literally one QB is still on the team. Carson Wentz. That's crazy. I didn't know that. And that might not even be – that's crazy. That is crazy. I didn't know that. Edward just stated facts. Schwartz was a huge part of the defense being trashed. That is true. That is very true. Solo, I don't think it would matter. Imagine Watson versus Wentz debates. It would be cool, though. When it comes to Deshaun Watson, it really doesn't matter. I want to give up something. I don't know. I know Watson is good and everything, but man, if it comes down to giving up, like I said, if they want to call us and be like, listen, man, this guy just wants to go, just get him off our hands. You guys need to get rid of Wentz. Let's just do it straight up, head up. You know, he wants to go over there. Just give us Wentz. You'll get Watson. Then okay, I'm cool with that. But and maybe, you know, if you want to throw in a guy that we were going to give up anyways, like if we were going to give up maybe a Barnett or maybe a Brandon Graham, you know, maybe you do something like that. But if we're over here like, oh, give up our 6, give up our next year's first, I can't do it, man. I can't do it for Watson. We have to build this team. We are losing Ertz. There ain't no way in how they bring in another tight end that's not a decent blocker. I like the tight ends that we have. I was doing check out the video that I did the other day of the guys that I thought should stay and go from our restricted and unrestricted free agents. 2 of those guys were tight ends, Jason Kroom. 3 of them, actually. Jason Kroom is a free agent. Richard Rodgers and Josh Perkins. So I like Richard Rodgers. I think Richard Rodgers added a lot, but none of those are really, maybe Josh Perkins, none of those are really top flight security of the world, Craig. No, none of those are top flight blockers at the tight end position. So I think that, I agree. We need to figure something out. But we also have somebody like Jordan Mailata. How cool would that be to see Jordan Mailata split out at the tight end position? Maybe catch a pass one day. That football and rugby is like this. That shit's like a freaking McDonald. It's like it's like that big, bro. Like, he could catch a regular football. Goddard's a future star. Why do we need Pitts? We don't necessarily need Pitts. That's why I said he would need to be a wide receiver for me. Dallas Goddard was a horrible blocker when we drafted him. He was developed into that. I wouldn't say he was a horrible blocker. And he's not a great blocker now. But he's all right. He's okay. But, Goddard, like I said, Goddard is more the guy I feel like you put that ball in his hands on those screens and stuff like that. Is Marquis Manuel still on the staff? I didn't hear him get fired, but we did just hire that guy from the Jets. So I assume that he maybe isn't, or maybe the Jets guy is just overseeing the whole secondary. I'm not sure. I'm sure somebody will let you know in the chat. I learned more from the chat than anything, Shout out to everybody that's in here. We got 50 people in here still. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. Exactly. We don't know what Wentz could be. Lamb Wentz. Come on, that's scary sight. Not really. I mean, it's gonna be the same thing that you saw with Dak. They're still gonna have to put up 50 points to win games. Carson's best bet would be the Pats. It would be interesting. Only reason I would think the Pats would be interesting is because that dynamic of Carson's ego, quote unquote, and obviously Bill Belichick kind of being that guy. So I mean, it would be interesting to see how that worked. So obviously, I mean, I don't think Tom Brady really had an ego. He just kind of knew who he was. So I don't know. We'll see. Carson needs to go. He's an a-hole. He did not think Doug on the way out, and he has not welcomed Sirianni on the way in. I agree with that he should say something towards his new coaches. But, you know, and he did before, so it's kind of weird. Dak can't do what Wentz is doing. You don't think Carson could put up the same numbers? I mean, Dak's been putting up big numbers since he came into the league, to be honest. I don't think that Carson is that huge of it, would be that huge of an upgrade. I'm not going to keep talking about Dallas because I really don't care. It's not going to happen. Dallas doesn't have a quarterback whisperer to help Wentz with mechanics. Exactly. Wentz has to fix himself. Is this team better off to move Wentz, money to buy blockers and horizontal, all quarterback are equal? I feel like that's true. I think we have a good offensive line. I need to invest in this defense. We need to get this defense going again. I can't stand Dallas, but if I was them, I'd trade up for a QB, save money. I mean, yeah, if they have the option, I think that's something they should definitely look into. But hey, somebody might come in here and not be able to get the ball to all these stars like Dak is. That's the thing you got to understand too. Like, it's one thing to have a bunch of great wide receivers. Look at the Browns. The Browns had two great wide receivers, right? And sometimes it's hard to get the ball to all these stars, So, look, Dak's been able to do that. So, yeah, I want them to give Dak a $500 million contract, and that's like for 2 years. 2-year, $500 million. I think that's fair for him. It is what it is. I really don't care what they do. I think that Dak has proved that he deserves a contract, though. But if they don't want to give it to him, then don't give it to him. But what about this year? For who? I think tight end is like running one back when it comes to draft. It's rare you draft a running back with the 6 picks. No, I agree. And, but Kyle Pitts might be that rare guy. What about Jack Doyle for Ertz and us receiving a second-round pick for Wentz to the Colts? I wouldn't really. I want draft picks from everybody. So if you want Ertz, give us a draft pick. If you want Wentz, I'll take a second-round pick. I would be cool with that. What are your thoughts on dipping pizza into ranch? I dip it in a blue cheese. Blue cheese gang. Shorts, no jamming. Oh, shoot. No jammer routes at the line. Plays, sticks on third and forever. Doesn't know what a blitz is. We won the ball in spite of Jim Shorts. He was always bad at his job. Thank God he's gone. I wouldn't say he was always bad, but yeah, he definitely the last once after the Vikings game, his defense was just it was over. I don't know what happened. But he had good years up until then. I think it's time for him to maybe hang it up. I think he was a great coach. He's had great moments. Why would you want Doyle, though? If Ertz is worth a second-round pick, so you think, well, Ertz is probably worth a second or third-round pick. I don't know what Doyle's contract looks like, but I'd rather just get the picks. That's what I'm thinking too. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 52 people in here. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. I would do that too. BG is a guy. He's making 18 mil next year, guys. I don't know, man. I don't know. Might be time to move on. Get rid of Wentz and Hurts and start Greg Ward as quarterback. Let's do it. I'm with that. Let's go. Tank, if we're about to be honest, if we're just being honest, this is going to be a rebuild year anyways with the new head coach. It could be, it definitely could be, and it depends on what your definition of a rebuild is. If we go 8-8, that's still probably a rebuild. We thought that 2016 was the start of a probably some of us were thinking 5-year rebuild. We thought that was going to be a long rebuild, and we turned it around pretty quick. So it's all about getting the right people in here. Hakeem Butler. We'll see. Sirianni said that he wants open competition everywhere. He said that every position is open. So hopefully he stands by that, and we see what some of these guys have. I mean, Hakeem Butler is kind of what everybody's making Kyle Pitts out to be. I didn't really look into Hakeem Butler as a in college or anything like that, but hey, maybe we have what we need on the roster. I'd love to have Jared Cook, way underrated. I don't think we need to go get another starting tight end. I think Sirianni does like his 2 tight end sets, but I like having Goddard and I like having Rodgers. I think if you want to add to that, cool. You know what I'm saying? If you want to add to that, awesome. But I think we can go into the season with that and be okay. If Goddard is a future star at tight end, and you have someone like Chase on the board, why would you pick Pitts to be a wide receiver over Chase? I said if they were off the board, he would be the 3rd wide receiver. I think is the best, or the 3rd best wide receiver, I should say, like that. I think Chase is the guy if you're going to go wide receiver. Like I've said, and I'll say it a million times, I personally want Micah Parsons. But look, if Chase is there and you want to go with Chase, then, yes, sir, big play Slay. Talk to him. Let him know. Oh, I can't pin it from here. But yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your friends' mama. People sleep on how good Richard Rodgers is. Big play Slay. Do you know Watson has no trade clause, meaning he pretty much picks? Yeah, he has to pick where he wants to go. Do you connect with Philly Fresh or other Eagles YouTubers? Oh, of course. We have a lot of. Actually, be ready for the mock draft series that we're continuing next week. We're having a Bengals creator, Bengals Jim, on to do his pick. But for the Eagles pick, I was gonna make it a surprise, but surprise, we're gonna have a whole bunch of Eagles content creators that are gonna be basically calling in their vote for who they want to pick, and that's how we're gonna pick for the Eagles. But yeah, man. Philly Fresh is like a brother to me, bro. He helped me out a lot on this channel. Philly Talk Podcast, also, they helped me out a lot. Joey Shakes has been like family to me. A lot of these people have looked out. We have a video with Lord Brunson on my and his channel. I did a video with Philly 500 that's on my channel. We've worked with a lot of different Philly creators. Philly Take with RB, that's like my cousin. I almost forgot to say him because me and him just talk like we family. So yeah, no, a lot of different Eagles YouTubers are definitely in the Rolodex, and we'll probably get them on here again soon. It's been a while. I definitely got to get another one going. Could you get a good blocker for Wentz? And to say on that also, here at Philly, we do Eagles YouTubers obviously, but we've also had Bo Wolf. We've also had Zach Berman. From The Athletic, talking Eagles. We've had, the former Eagles mascot. So we do a little bit of everything here. So if you are new, definitely hit that subscribe. We have a lot of fun. Belichick would have Wentz army ready. It would be, look, if Wentz leaves, and shout out to Big Play Slay, got to get out of here, man. Take it easy. Have a good Sunday. I'm probably going to be leaving pretty soon, too. I didn't think I'll go this long. But I'll probably go another 20 minutes, whatever. What was I going to say? Yeah, it would be interesting to see Belichick and Wentz just because, maybe it could work out beautifully, and we know he has talent. So this could be very interesting. If you don't see Kelsey out of Pitts at 6, don't take him. I agree. Or if you don't see something that you can use. The NFL changes every year. It's either you're going to be the first person to do it. It's not about who does it first. It's about who does it right in the NFL. So, you never know that maybe he has some type of plan that he could use this guy. Wentz for Fitz magic. Let's get it. That's what we need, bro. That's what we need right now. Who is worth the most in a trade and frees up the most salary? Can you even use what Wentz can do and keep him? Wentz, if he works with us on the salary, he could become that guy. But right now, he would kill us if we traded him as far as his salary cap goes. Right now, Brandon Graham might not be the highest value, but the man's making like $18 million on the cap. I think we could save like 12 of that by trading him. Don't quote me. I'm sure you guys will look it up. I know he makes $18 million. So he's somebody that I'm really looking at either having a major restructure or maybe a Fletcher Cox. If that's the route you want to go, you'd save a lot of money giving up on him. And obviously he probably have pretty high value, but it comes down to if you want to do that. You say y'all wilding. Y'all wilding for what? Yeah, you got to be a little bit more specific than that. We be wilding a lot. Especially me, I be wilding all the time. I want to see Dak walk to Washington just to see him beat the brakes off the Cowboys regularly. Potential emotional letdown the next week. Take those WNBA overs. Schwartz, did you happen to look at the stat line from the Super Bowl? Anybody else lose that game and Schwartz would have been fired after that. He stayed because, that's facts. Yeah, we've said that before, bro. Like, if we would have lost that, he would have been the scapegoat. Pitts is a beast. I like Pitts. What up, Philly? New to the channel. I like what you got to say, homie. I appreciate that, Danny. I appreciate that. Welcome to the family, bro. Welcome to the family. It's ridiculous how bad the Eagles are at drafting. Yeah. No Pro Bowlers drafted in the past decade. Or no, I'm capping. 2015, I think it is. And the only guy that we got is Wentz. I went to the Pro Bowl once that we drafted. Tis with the tis, man. Dole could help out with blocking. That's true. That's awesome. I love all y'all videos and live videos. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Welcome to the fam, bro. Welcome to the family. The draft is stacked every position, just about. That would be first round talent, wide receivers in the second round. I'd probably go defense first. That's where I'm at too. I think defense has a bigger drop off. So I would definitely go. I'm looking at defense the first 2 rounds. Like I said, go look at the video. I just put up this morning. Well, it went live this morning. I was on with a Philly Insider podcast, me and Brandon, and we did like a 3-round mock draft. It's like 10 minutes. It was a lot of fun. And we went defense heavy. So definitely go check that out and let me know what you guys think. Gates is a really good Eagles YouTuber. He really knows his football really well. He's an ex-coach. Yeah, we actually just had Gate City on here. I want to say last week, actually. Gate City was on here. I've actually been slacking with these collaborations because I've been trying to work on this draft series so much. And that's going to be like so many people. It's 30 people. 30 different collaborations, everybody picking their team, and it's a lot of fun because you meet a lot of new people, but it's honestly been a lot harder than I thought it would be to get teams for everybody. So, but we have the top 10, so that's pretty good. We have the top 10 done. We have everybody, so we should have the top 10 done by not this week, but next week. All the picks will be out. What's good, Philly Ace? How's it going? How much did the Rams eat in money compared to what we would lose to Wentz trade? I don't want to come on here and lie to you, so I really don't know. I could look that up and give you an answer later on, maybe when I come on live later, but I don't know. So I don't want to, like I said, I don't like lying to people. I don't really know, so I don't want to tell you something and they'd be wrong. Zonated I am. Zonated I am. That's a cool name. Wentz didn't even go because he was injured. Yeah, exactly. He was, but I mean, he was on it. And then Brandon Graham gets to go be a Pro Bowler, and his Pro Bowl is going to be played on the freaking Xbox One or whatever. It's a crazy world we live in. Shout out to Lindy Enzo, man. What's going on, my brother? How you doing? It's kind of weird that nobody mentioned this. New DC. Yeah, I mentioned it. Yeah, he used to be a scout for the Rams. That was big. That's like That's a really good thing, man. That was his first job, I believe. His first NFL job was to scout for the Rams for a couple years. And it was like '03. So I could really look into the Rams. I really don't care about the Rams, so I don't really know all that much about it, but I did see that as well. Colts staff usually draft young on offense and free agents on defense. Yeah, that's what they would. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. No, I would be mad at that. I think we need that. My bad. Switch that around. That's how I want it. I want go young on defense this year because we have a young offense, and then go ahead and get you some key pieces in the free agency if you can. The Detroit Lions robbed the Rams for first round picks 2022, 2023. Wish the Eagles would have done that. Yeah, I agree. But I wouldn't have wanted to take on Jared Goff's contract. So I guess it's twofold. We need a top weapon on offense. Rager is not that guy. Look at Tampa receiving core when Djax is your speed option. In trouble. Yeah, man. I think Detroit stole in that trade. Yeah. Hey, what's that meme? I should have downloaded that meme. He's like, "Oh, she's stealing. She's stealing." That's how I felt when I saw that. Miles Sanders too. Do you think Eagles still going to run two tight ends? Well, it seems like Sirianni likes that. It seems like that's what he likes, but he also really, really likes our wide receivers, and he really made it. He didn't make much clear, but he made one thing clear, and that's he's going to try and build his offense around the players, attributes. So I think we probably will. We'll probably see a lot of quick passes, a lot of screens. So I think he will run a lot of two tight end set. But we will see. We will definitely see. Pitts is the most surefire offensive weapon pick in the first round. Waddle could be injury prone. Smith has questions on durability. Oh, did somebody else get traded? Hold up. What Calais Campbell are you talking about? Oh, he's talking about the Lions trade. I like Pitts if he's there, and I don't know. I like Chase over Pitts though personally, but I like Micah Parsons over all of them. Okay, so let's keep on reminding everybody that. So if we don't draft Micah Parsons and he goes on to be a All Pro, let's all remember I said that. What's your ideal wide receiver group? You're talking like if we were to draft somebody and add them. If we were to draft somebody and add them, I would ideally like to see Travis Fulgham out there, Jamar Chase out there, and then Jalen Reagor in the slot. I think that would be fun to watch, and then you can interchange them all. You can move them all around, and then you have Greg Ward as your number 4, kind of plays that Jason Avant role, just a sure pair of hands. And then obviously at tight end, I want to see Richard Rodgers being that number 2 guy. Obviously, Dallas Goddard would be the starter. So that would probably be my weapons, my offensive weapons. I never liked Jared Goff. Wentz is a better quarterback with a good O-line when healthy and the right coaching. Yeah, I mean, Carson has proved to us that he can be great, but we got to be realistic moving forward. A tight end in the first round, effing dumb. He's more than a tight end though. Like if he's one of those players you got to kind of look at that title, look at that position title, and just kind of ignore it because he can be so much more, and that's where the lore comes in. That's where the I guess the I don't know what word I'm looking for, but yeah, that's where it comes from. Whatever word I'm looking for, that's where it comes from. Chase, Reagor, Fulgham, Ward, I love it. That's what I'm saying. I think that would be very nice. Yeah, and then you have people like Quez, you have people like John Hightower, you have people like that can just kind of develop. You know what I'm saying? They can be 5th and 6th wide receivers that come in on at times that spell some of these wide receivers and can develop. They're not going to be asked to be number 1s right off the bat. And then if you go ahead and you want to grab if you want to get a vet back in here like Marquis Goodwin, you have the option to do something like that, and you're not putting all your marbles and all your chips in one basket, so to speak. He is, but yeah. Look, I did a video. I think I did actually a live of it where I kind of broke down some of his attributes. I did a little, it was like the first 10 minutes of the live, kind of like what I did with this. I do like the first 10 minutes about the topic, and then we just talk forever how long. But in that video, I was saying, man, him as a receiver, he's top notch, bro. And I think if he was a receiver, he'd probably be the number 3 wide receiver in this draft, because if you look at his size, strength, speed, you can't teach combinations like that. And he's a great route runner. I've said before, he kind of reminds me of like a Alshon Jeffrey, just at the tight end position. His speed is going to be a big thing, though. If he runs anything less than a 4.5, that man is going to skyrocket up draft boards. But no, I like him. I do like the guy. Pitts could be moved to wide receiver. Yeah, I agree. Plus, we're getting rid of Ertz. Like I said, it's all about what the coach sees. If the coach is like, hey, let's, we can use him like this, then, go ahead. D-Jax we should keep to put players over his shoulder. If he wants to come back at like a really cheap rate, if he wants to come in at like a really cheap rate, possibly to, kind of be that mentor, but I don't know. He needs to at least, cut that money, and then we'll talk about that. The reason I said that is I really can't. Yeah, I don't think we can get a first for Wentz right now, but maybe. I think we will see a big step from these young guys too. I forgot about Goodwin. Can't wait to see how he plays. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he wants to come back, man. I think Wentz is, and maybe we get Jamon. I forgot about this guy yesterday, and they brought him up. Jamon Brown. Not Jamon Brown. I'm sorry. My bad, guys. I just probably gave somebody flashbacks. But who's the linebacker? Who's the linebacker that left that retired this year? Jatavius Brown. There we go. If, Jatavius Brown comes back, maybe that helps us out at defensive, at the linebacker position. Yeah, Waddle's fast, bro. Waddle and Rondale Moore is fast, bro. Yeah, I agree, y'all. D-Jax is out. Look, I mean, if D-Jax wants to, I wouldn't mind D-Jax. Or even, I don't know how true it is, but I heard that if we didn't keep Aaron Moorhead, if Aaron Moorhead would have moved on, we were interested in getting Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, as our wide receivers coach. If he can teach anyone how to use their feet like he does, you go ahead and get him. I would love to see him come onto this team in some capacity. I know he's got, a past, whatever, but as a coach, I think he could really help us. That's a great question. What's the value of a Ertz Wentz trade package? That's a great question. I would say, look, if you're going to if it's both of them, I want at least a good second and third, at least. And then, we add stuff on it. But I don't want players back. I don't want any money back. I want straight up value. I want straight up draft capital. That's all I want. I don't think that we should be looking into getting, I know a lot of people will talk about Watson, this guy, that guy. I don't think we should do that. I think we should try and get under this salary cap, get a lot of draft picks. If we somehow, Howie gets us to $20 million under the salary cap or something like that, bro, there are so many good wide receivers on this open market that if we really need a wide receiver, we can figure that out. And like I said, there's a couple people that you never know. Yeah, I'm thinking if you're going to put both of them together, I need both. I need a second and a third. Because, I mean, realistically, you're getting a quarterback and a starting tight end. You got to come up off them picks. But, I think the contract comes into it. If Wentz, and Ertz's contract is not that much. He's getting paid like $8 million next year, and he's under contract for the next 2 years. So his contract shouldn't be a problem. He wants to obviously get paid more, so that's on them. Or them being whoever wants to pay him next. But with Wentz, if Wentz restructures anything and makes it easier for us to trade, then yeah, we're gonna start talking about an easy second rounder for him. We're gonna be talking about possibly a first, because then it becomes different. You know what I'm saying? But right now, as his contract is, I'm gonna say that we're probably looking at like a second, maybe third rounder for both of them, second and a third. Terrence Mitch, Marshall, and Chris Olave, I don't know how to say it, are both first round talent wide receivers that will be in second. There's a lot, bro. There's a lot. There's a lot of good wide receivers. Do you think Goodwin should have a chance in the Eagles? Yeah, I think that the way he did it was the right way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Realistically, shout out to Solo Bolo, man. I appreciate you coming and kicking it for a little bit, bro. Appreciate you coming in and chilling. I think he did it the right way. You know, I mentioned Jatavius Brown, the guy that retired, that was supposed to come play linebacker for us. I think the way he did it was a little bit more snaky. Like, bro, you missed the opportunity to opt out. I understand you wanted to do that, and that's what you wanted to do. That's what you do. But I'd be a little bit more cautious to bring somebody like Jatavius Brown to the team just because I feel like he did a little bit more snaky. In terms of players we could get, apparently Xavier Rhodes wants Philly due to the coaching staff. Obviously had a good relationship with the Indy guys. There's also disgruntled Bears wide receiver. Yeah, you're talking about Allen Robinson. If we could get Allen Robinson, I would be ecstatic. You know, Penn State, I'm a big Penn State fan, so I would love that. I don't know. I didn't hear that Xavier Rhodes wanted Philly. That would be dope. I know, shout out to Joey Shakes, like we were just talking about him. Joey Shakes did a really, really good video of a couple videos actually of all the players that are free agents from the Colts that make sense for our defense. Xavier Rhodes was a name that definitely stood out to me. So I would not be mad at that. And, you know, he could be one of those guys that kind of like the Patrick Robinson type deal. We can get him on a 1-year prove-it deal. He can come back from that injury, ball out, you know, and then we talk to him about the future because we have a lot of money coming up. You know, after this year, once we get out of this, 2 years from now, we have some money. So, you know, it's going to be rough for this year, maybe next year, but after that, we should be good. I think we get some Colts players come over cheap. Xavier, yeah, Malik Hooker and Rhodes. I like both of them. Second and third round would be good trade value, maybe even a fourth. Depending, I mean, yeah, I guess. It would hurt to see Wentz go for a fourth. But if you're saying add that on, yeah, I would, yeah. Heck yeah, man. Chris Olave is staying in school. I don't get why fans are all doom and gloom. There's a lot to be very optimistic. Yeah, you never know, man. You never know. I want 5 first-round picks for Ertz and Wentz. Yay, I'll take them all. I would take them all. What I'm scared with Hurts being started is throw power. I think he's fine. I think he throws a pretty good deep ball. I think he's accurate, and he makes good decisions. You know, as long as you know your strengths and weaknesses as a quarterback, I think it's fine. You can be worked with. It's not that big of a deal. But either way, I did not expect to be on here for 2 hours. I appreciate everybody that, kicked it and chilled and talked for a little bit. I don't know what I'm doing tonight. I might be back on tonight, might not. But we'll see. We shall see. You guys check the community post. Let me know what you guys want next as far as a video or a live stream, and I'll be sure to get on it. Other than that, if you are new, I saw a lot of new faces in here. I appreciate it. Please do hit that like, hit that subscribe. Shout out again to Philly Talk Podcast, my guy Mike over there, and Philly Take with RB. I appreciate those donations. But other than that, man, y'all know what it is. It is fly, Eagles fly, and we are out here.